Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? It's your boy Kamo coming back with another reaction video for you. But first, I'm going to start giving some shout outs here because I get so many nice comments. Even people that just comment, I subscribe because I do ask if you subscribe, let me know so I can thank you. So I'm going to start giving some shout outs. And then what I think I'm going to do is pick one specific comment to like kind of highlight for that specific video for whatever reason. So without further ado, let me give a quick shout out to whoosh and whoosh. I don't even know if these are going in the right place, but whatever. And special shout out, we'll put it to whoosh, like right there. Abby Everett, people suck. Keep up the great reactions. This was I really like this comment. It was coming from a video where I was talking about how people getting too easily offended nowadays, or they're being selective about what they do get offended about. It's like, oh, I'm not offended about that because that's not about me, or that's not about anybody I care about. But it's like, oh, now you're talking about someone I care about, or you're talking about me. Now I'm offended. So I liked her response because she's right. People suck. And I mean, keep up the great reaction. That was very nice. Guys, keep this comments coming. There might be times where I highlight an asshole comment because I occasionally get those. Not complaining. Occasionally get those. I know the trolls are out there. I know they're coming. So I'm sure occasionally I'll highlight those, and maybe we'll do a special, like all of us will just do like a special fuck you or something to that comment, something like that. You guys, let me know. Let me know how you want to handle those. And also, I'm going to get into the video in 1 second. I got something planned for when I get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm a little over 300 right now. The pace I'm going to be at 1,000 within the next couple months, I feel like, unless something drastic happens. So I have an idea for something I'm going to do when I get to 1,000 subscribers, but I'm going to go into it at the end of the video just to make sure it doesn't interfere with this too much. And that way only the people that are really like diehard and really want to know, they can hear it. And the rest of the people, you can just watch the reaction, which is famous comedians versus hecklers. This should be fun. And this goes along perfectly with Abby's comment, people suck. So let's get on to it.
You fucking nosy Nelly. You're trying to give me your timeout. I'm not your kid. And then she gives me the finger like she's Tanner from the Bad News Bears.
I've seen Dane live once that I can recall a couple years ago at the Comedy Store. We were really lucky, me and my wife, we were engaged at the time, but we were front row center. Like, I have a picture of her. If I find it, maybe I'll post it in this video. Like, if I find it, I'll post it here. If not, it will. But literally, she's touching this before he went up. She's touching the microphone stand because that's how close we were. And he was really cool and everything. But the one thing I can tell about Dane is like he goes out with an agenda. Like, I'm going out to work on these jokes. He's not just like I'm going to fuck. Well, I guess sometimes he does go around and just fuck around. But point being is like if you fuck with a comedian's rhythm and shit, like this person's doing clearly, he's been doing comedy a long time. Everyone, whether you like him or not, he's been doing comedy a long time. Don't try to battle a comedian because you're gonna lose. And if you really are so much funnier than them that you would actually win, then you should get your ass on stage and do stand-up. Like, point, period, and a sentence.
Relax. Why are you involved in their business?
I get at it every time here and I see you.
No, we don't go at it every time you're
Remember
here.
last time with the cocaine, I was in the front row with that like...
I've been doing this for 19 years. Yeah, I remember that day. That's how important you are. Of course. I remember doing Letterman, Carnegie Hall, and talking to you.
She's so hurt.
What's your deal?
Zach Galifianakis.
I saw you earlier and you were chatting and you're on your goddamn cell phone.
People think that when you're on stage that we can't see you when you get on your cell phone. It is so apparent. People think the only way to heckle is to shout out during a show, even though looking at your phone is not a form of heckle. It is a form of distraction to a comedian. Like, you got to understand, like, there's a bright light on us. The room is dark. We can usually, except for like the first or second row, like those are faces we can see. Beyond that, all we see is shadows of people. Like, we see shapes and stuff. But when you light up your big dumb face with your cell phone, because I think I'm taking that from somebody else that said that a comedian said, like, light up your big dumb face. But when you light up your big dumb face with a cell phone, it is not only distracting as hell, but it shows us, oh, this person's not paying attention, which as a comedian, that's your whole job, is like, I'm supposed to retain the audience's attention and hopefully make them laugh. When you're doing that, not only are you showing me that you're not paying attention, but now you're distracting people around you, because people are so like, this is my world and this is all I see and this is all I care about. And I'm on my cell phone, but nobody else can see this but me. It's like, no, everybody around you can see you're on your cell phone. And I can't tell you how many times, whether it's been me on stage or just me at a show witnessing someone else, when someone lights up their stupid phone because they're looking, even if they're like trying to like do this whole thing, like maybe if I just bring it up to my face, like nobody, light goes out, especially if it's in a dark room, and people go like this. They go like, they do that all the time. Like, what the fuck? Like, if it's an emergency, go the fuck outside. Otherwise, wait till the show's over. Thank you. You fuck with a phone in front of a comedian, you are asking to get fucked with, like, for sure, which is what he looks like he's doing. He brought her up on stage, it looks like, so.
I'm trying to tell my jihad jokes. It's a bit rude if you ask me. Well, you got your keys in your car, on your hand. What kind of car do you have?
I have an Echo.
You have an Echo, really? I have a Subaru Outback. With Dukakis stickers still on it. You know who that guy is? That's okay. You're young. Oh, what do you leave her alone. She's young, dumb, and full of cum, guys. Okay, Claudia. All right, Claudia, enjoy the show. I just wanted to get to know you a little bit. Please go sit back down on stage. Yeah, if you don't mind. No, you're fucking up with my rhythm.
Fucking with the rhythm. I said it. You fuck with their rhythm. It's not for all comedians, but for a lot of comedians, for a lot of comedian styles, it's a, I don't want to say it's musical, but I guess, I mean, it is. It's like you fall into a rhythm. First, you have to get the audience's attention and get them on board with, like, you have to, it's almost like when I first got on stage, I have to find where the audience is at and get into their rhythm wherever they're at. Like, I got to try and find it and sync up with it. So then I can take control and then they can sync up with my shit. And when you have someone that's doing stupid shit like this, it fucks with the rhythm.
Fucking 22-year-olds. I didn't know how to cater my act to people that don't get my stuff. I have to cater my act to you now. Here's some jokes for young 22-year-old Claudia. Happy Meals are weird.
I always wonder, is hell like organized? Is it clear where you're supposed to go? Is there like a schedule to your damnation? Sir, please don't fucking, I know only you, I'm the only one that hears it, but this guys, really, I'm so close to finishing the show, and when you talk, I hear it in my ear, and it fucks up my timing, and it makes my job hard. So could you not talk during my act, please?
We already have to do, I say we because I did stand up for a long time, in case you didn't know. So I'm saying I'm a comedian, even though I don't think I'll do it anymore. But we have to deal, when we're on stage, we have to deal with so many distractions already, like the waitresses and like the people coming in and getting up and go, you know, there's so many distractions as it is that you talking to, especially if you're near the front, which is like, it's a blessing and a curse sometimes, because like when you're sitting at the front, oftentimes like you can get special, like, you know, you can get more involved with the show, like in terms of they might talk to you, not like for you to heckle, but they might interact with you. Dane Cook, I was just saying it, I went and saw him live, we were in the front row. He interacted with me and my wife. Now, unfortunately, the comic that was right before us had already talked to us and asked us questions about like, oh, how long you guys been together? How'd you guys meet? Dane wasn't around for that, so he didn't see that. So when he came out and started asking us the same questions, the whole audience started like acting weird, and then he sensed it, and he's like, "Have you already been fucked with tonight?" And we were like, "Yeah, like we've already been at." And he's like, "Got it, I'll move on." And then like obviously my wife is all pissed off because she's like, why did that other comedian have to talk to us? Because then Dane could have talked to us more. So she was all bummed. Anyway, getting back to my point is when you're in the front row, though, even if you're just like, and you're not trying to be rude, but even if you're just like, hey, how much of this bill? Like the bill comes, like, hey, you got this, right? Like, yeah, but can we split this? And like, okay, how about you have cash, card? Okay, I'll put this on my card. Why don't you leave the cash as a tip? And then I'll, like, all that shit, we're right here. We can hear you. Like, we understand you have to talk about stuff, but it's like, you need to like, be like, truly like, you know, like the other person should have trouble hearing you, because if you're making it so they can hear you clearly, that means that the person on stage can hear you clearly too.
10 more minutes. I am talking. I'm looking right in your fucking face. Why are you not talking? Do you share eyes with another person?
Last thing you can do is share hair.
What's that?
Last thing you can do is share hair.
The last thing I can do is share hair.
He's trying to, like I said before, don't try it. Don't try it unless you know you're funnier than the comedian. Even then you shouldn't do it because it's just disrespectful. And if that's the case, you should be doing stand-up. Like, really, like, I don't see any other profession. I don't see people showing up to rock concerts and being like, you know, like, oh, I can play the guitar too. Like, I can play it better than you. I don't see that shit. But for some reason, humor is one of those things that everyone thinks that they're funny. And honestly, like, I do feel like a lot of people are funny. And especially like within their social circle, you might be the funny one. But doing it on stage is way fucking different. And it's just disrespectful. The reason why the great ones are so great is because they make it look fucking easy, but it's so not easy. It is not easy. The fact that he's trying to say, and it was a stupid remark about you couldn't share hair. Like, just make a fucking bald joke. Just say you're fucking bald. Like, have the balls to just say what you're trying to say if your thing isn't clever enough, which his thing was not clever at all. So he should have just said, he shouldn't have said shit, but he should have just made a bald joke and not like, hey, borrow hair. You couldn't borrow hair.
That is the shittiest heckle I have ever heard in my life. That is the dumbest thing any human being has ever said to me in my entire life. One time I was walking down the street in New York and this guy walked up to me and went, dude. And that made a lot more sense than that shitty heckle. The last thing I could do is share hair. Why don't you just say you're fucking bald and ugly?
See, exactly.
I hate children. The only child that I think I would have liked ever was Helen Keller because she didn't talk. And it's just... Yes, it is. And if you don't, then leave.
Funny if you have a deaf son.
I happen to have a deaf mother. Oh, you stupid ass. Let me tell you what comedy is about.
Go ahead and tell me.
Oh, please. You are so stupid. Comedy is to make everybody laugh at everything and deal with things, you idiot. My mother is deaf, you stupid son of a bitch. Don't tell me. And just in case you can hear me in the hallway, I lived for 9 years with a man with one leg. Okay, you asshole? And we're going to talk about what it's like to have a man with one leg who lost it in World War II and never went back to get it, because that's fucking littering.
This is exactly what I was talking about in the other video. The one that Abby Everett, the comment I highlighted earlier that said people suck, was because I was talking about how people have selective humor. Like you're making fun of whatever that guy is, like, obvious is offended about a deaf joke because he has a son that's deaf, I guess, or at least he's claiming it, like making it sound like he does. Whatever joke she was telling before that, he was probably laughing at. But now you're talking about someone close to me, so I'm going to get offended on their behalf when they didn't even fucking ask you to be offended. That's the other thing that pisses me off too, is when you feel offended on behalf of somebody. Because I've seen that a million times in comedy clubs, and usually if the person's in the room, that they're sticking up for, if the comedian addresses the actual person, be like, hey, so-and-so's saying that this joke was offensive because you're this or you're that. Were you offended by that joke? 9 times out of 10, they say no. They weren't offended. 9 times out of 10, they said they thought it was funny and they laughed. And only one time have I actually seen in my entire 10 years of doing stand-up and all the years prior that I went to stand-up shows and didn't, before I even knew that that's what I was going to do, I've seen it. Only one time was a person like, and they weren't even saying they were offended. They were just like, I didn't think it was funny. But they didn't even say they were offended. They were just like, I just didn't think it was funny, which is totally fine. But getting offended on someone's behalf because, oh, my son's deaf, so that's not funny. That's so fucking stupid. It's stupid. It really is. Abby, people suck. Love it.
So don't you tell me what's funny.
My friends is like, Aim, my best friend, she's like, you have to have a baby one day. You'd be such a good mom. I'm like, is that a reason to do that? Like, I'd be a sweet prostitute, I think. But I'm gonna sign up for those classes at the Learning Addicts.
What is not raising her hand?
This isn't a class. Do you know that? You want to know where I got my boots? Okay, they're at the corner of You Can't Afford Them and Stop Talking to Me. I'm sorry, you're right. That was fucked up. I think they're Steve Madden or Aldo or something. I don't know. But that was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. Okay.
Security's
No,
not
I get
approaching
it. That's
her.
okay. She's fine, no
Wow.
security. But yeah, like, you know when Bobby Fischer, have you ever seen the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer? When he's like, take the draw, because he knows he's going to win. Just remember that scene if you feel like talking again, okay?
I'm really shocked that unless that girl had spoken up before in the show, I'm really surprised that one speak out and security was already going to approach her. I'm sure they weren't going to kick her out. They were probably going to warn her. But still, like, usually at most comedy clubs I've been to, one shout out, like one outburst, whatever you want to call it, won't warrant security coming up and talking to you or approaching you. Usually the comedian will address you first. Then if the comedian has to warn you a second time, after that second warning of the comedian warning you, then security might intervene and give you a warning as well. And then it's like almost like 3 strikes, you're out. I have seen comedians that were it was a one and done. Like, person spoke out and they were not having it. And unfortunately, I don't know this comedian well enough to know whether this is their standard policy or if they were just having a bad night that night, whatever. But one speak out and that person was already like, security, like, kick them out. I want them out. I'm not continuing my set until they're out of here. And I was even like, shit, like, that was just one time. Holy shit. Which is why just don't risk it. You paid the money. You know, at that point, you've probably paid for the drinks, you know, food, dinner. I mean, you know, the tickets, obviously, but like, it's just not worth it. Just laughter and applause. Those are the only really acceptable sounds in a club. Definitely don't raise your hand and ask a question. Unless some comedians have Q&A at the end of their show. That's totally different.
But no, that's sweet. Thank you. I also like these boots. And don't worry, I'm drunk too right now. Honestly, I am. You're in a blackout. Let's be real.
Don't talk back.
What the fuck is different between you and me? What's different? Oh, I have a wallet chain. I lost the wallet twice. I don't like losing wallets, so now I have a chain. Any other questions?
Don't fuck with Joe. Don't fuck with Joe.
Bikini or you go fucking bareback, bro? What do you want to do? You want to suck my cock or do you want to be my friend? One is one of them.
I'll tell you the really tough part about doing it with Joe, because I've seen Joe several times live. His fans, like the core group of people that go out to see him, are like, you know, he's a Mount Everest. He's on Mount Rushmore. He's one of the top dogs to them. And so when you speak out or against or whatever during his show, or whether it's just his spot, like his 15-minute spot at the Comedy Store, when you speak, oftentimes the audience will attack you before he gets a chance to. The only reason they're sitting close, you can tell. but it's brutal. Like his fans, they're awesome fans because they're so loyal, but they're also brutal if you're like fucking with their king, you know?
You either
Don't
want
do
to
it.
suck my cock, you want to be me, or you want to be my friend. It's one of those. Or you want to compare yourself to me. You know why? Because people that are unhappy in life always want to shut other people down. It's a weird thing. They never want to see anybody do good.
Yeah.
If you are doing good, they want to go, I'm going to find the fault.
Trolls,
What's wrong? What are you saying?
haters.
Funny shit with a wallet chain on? I'm going to stuff these two down with a Hot Topic reference. You and I aren't even the same species, fuckface. I don't want to just hush. I'll give you nightmares, motherfucker. You will wake up and think of me.
Female sexual energies.
Russell.
Right, listen. Turn the lights up for 10 seconds while I quickly dismantle this human being's self-belief. What it is, darling, is there is alcohol. It's invaded your consciousness, and the alcohol is telling you that you have things that are worth saying. The alcohol is lying to you now. Later, after the show, if your face is not as ugly as your voice, we will occupy that gaping orifice in your head. Not with my cock, though. Something dipped in herpes we will drape across your face and seal it shut with leprosy and scabs. Please, God, be visited by a holy disease.
All right, guys, that was Famous Comedians versus Hecklers. Thank you guys. If you liked it, please like it, comment if you'd like to see other stuff. Now, for the 1,000 subscriber thing that I'm thinking of doing, I need feedback on this, guys. Please let me know. I'm going to talk about this in other videos as well. So here we go. I don't have any tattoos. I've never gotten a tattoo in my life. My wife has 2 tattoos. One is related to her field of work, which is she's a nurse, and it's on her foot. And so it's basically like, you know, a heartbeat line, you know, like the little wave line, whatever they're called. I'm not a nurse, so I don't know what the hell it's called. And then like a heart, right? So it's like a line, okay? So if I get it, so this isn't just for when I get to 1,000 subscribers. This is literally like a kind of a vote thing. Like if I get enough people that say like, do it, I want to see it, whatever, then I'll do it. Otherwise, whatever. I will go and get a tattoo, probably on my foot too. We'll see. But I will go and get a tattoo that mocks her tattoo. Not mocks it, but like, you know, I do comedy. I mean, you know, I make fun of things. So, you know, like what I was saying, maybe like a flat line. Mine will just be a flat line, like I'm dead inside, whatever, something. So that's kind of what I was playing with. And I will go film me going to the tattoo place, getting it, and then showing my wife, who I have not and will not tell about this until it happens, which I have a feeling she's not going to be thrilled with it. Not that me getting a tattoo, but that I'm kind of like getting a tattoo that kind of makes fun of her tattoo. Might be causing myself some trouble. I don't know. But willing to do it. Willing to do it. For a laugh, willing to do it. That's why I need you guys to let me know. Is it worth the laugh? Do you guys want to see it? Let me know in the comments. I'll keep asking, and I'll probably have my own separate video. Like once I'm approaching 1,000, once I get to 1,000, I'll probably have a whole separate video just on this particular topic. But for now, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. I appreciate you guys. Till next time.